Thank you, Serge. I appreciate that. What's going on? This is Empire Jeff TV coming to you on a Monday night, live from Los Angeles, California. Hope everyone had a great Monday. Hope you guys had a great 4th of July. Great time with your families. Hope everyone was safe and that you guys had some good barbecue. And yeah, man, we're going to talk some Los Angeles Lakers basketball and some things going on that people are upset about, some things that are going on that people were upset for no reason, slaying some false narratives around here, whatnot. But the topic of conversation tonight is going to be, other than me fixing my mixer board here and not being on mute when I start a show. Thank you, Serge. Outside of that, we're going to talk about how it's kind of the end of the era and the passing of the torch from LeBron James to Luka Dončić, not on the court, but within the Lakers organization. And I don't want to use the word power struggle because I don't believe that's it. I don't believe LeBron is being difficult. I don't believe that LeBron is being dramatic. It's just the natural occurrence of things. You get a player like Luka Dončić with his status, global presence, and you're more than likely naturally going to navigate towards him because he most likely is going to be your future. Now, oddly enough, I've got a graphic up here on the screen that's got Luka, Deandre Ayton, and Jaxson Hayes. It's not Luka and LeBron and Austin Reeves. That's not what it is. And the reason why these three are up on the screen is because these three are all part of Luka's agency and represented by Bill Duffy of WME. Okay? These guys get used to this type of thing because what's going to happen here is Bill Duffy and his agency is more than likely going to become the new Klutch Sports, meaning that it's going to be the agency that the Lakers are going to be working the closest with. And it makes sense. It's not that they're firing Klutch Sports. It's not that they're never going to work with them again. It's not like they're not going to work with them now. What it is their superstar moving forward is represented by Bill Duffy. And their superstar of the last 7 years is represented by Klutch Sports. AD was represented by Klutch Sports. AD is gone. LeBron isn't going to be here much longer. Now, the Lakers aren't going to disrespect Klutch. They're not going to have an ugly split or break with them. It's just, again, it's just the natural progression of things. And Bill Duffy is going to be that new dude in the building that Rich Paul was with Klutch Sports for the Los Angeles Lakers. And I also would expect that once, and I do say once, not if, once Luka Dončić signs that extension with the Lakers, that I would expect when guys in the league and guys coming into the league know that Luka is committed to the Lakers for the long term, and the branding that's going to come with that, Luka as a Laker, and the biggest brand in the sport, with that new ownership group coming in, what you're going to see is you're going to see guys wanting to be part of that wave. You're going to want to see guys are going to want to be part of that. Guys are going to want to profit off of that. Look, there's certain things in the NBA that get guys paid. Certain things in the NBA that get guys paid. One point or another, it was Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni. Those two together, you played with them, you were going to get paid because you were going to score points and you were going to get paid for scoring points. The other part is if you were on Klutch Sports and you were a guy that could qualify for a minimum, or you were a guy that was a free agent or via trade, you were going to find your way at some point in time probably having the chance to play alongside LeBron James, and LeBron James was probably going to have at least half of his Laker roster being from Klutch Sports. Nothing wrong with that. That's business. All right? So over the years, when you saw guys teaming up with Klutch Sports, it's not to discredit Rich Paul that he's not a good agent. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not like guys were singling him out simply because he was Rich Paul. It's LeBron's agency. It's a cash cow. It's a machine, right? LeBron is a cash cow. He's a machine. So now, Luka Dončić now, once he signs that long-term deal with the Lakers, and he's going to be recruiting guys to the Lakers, guys that want to be part of that are just going to join up with Duffy just to get on the inside track to that. No tampering, no this and that. You got interagency conversations, plotting your client's future. Where do you like to be? Where do you want to be? Where do you think you want to play? Who do you want to play with? All of these things, again, natural progression. And when it's your own agent and your own superstar and they're all involved in this, you're not simply saying, hey, I want to be a Laker. Get me to the Lakers. But you're talking about, hey, I wouldn't mind playing with Luka. I wouldn't mind being part of this wave of the next 5 to 7 years with Luka. Even if I'm not on the same team with him, the same agency with him, there's going to be benefits coming from that. So I would look for Bill Duffy's roster. He's got Ant Edwards. He's got Luka. I would look for that roster to increase in talent and increase in superstar names, and therefore increase with clients who are going to be or try to become Los Angeles Lakers. And with that being said, that's where you're going to find that Bill Duffy at WME is going to become the new Klutch Sports for the Lakers. Now, depending on what happens with LeBron, and one thing we've learned, because we got Luka on this screen in a Laker jersey, we had the Lakers just sold to Mark Walter. One thing we know is that we know nothing. We know nothing. We could sit here and say there's no way in the hell Luka's going to be a Laker. Luka's a Laker. I used to say there's no way in the hell the Lakers are going to sell right now. They sold. It'll become official in October. So I'm not putting anything past anything at this point. I'm just not. Because I'm just going to look like a fool with something that was unheard of happens. I'm completely open-minded now. I'm completely wide open. The impossible is possible again. But this all starts with Luka has to get some things right. Luka has to come into training camp in prime condition. The contract has to be signed. He has to stay healthy. He has to play at an MVP level. And Rob Pelinka and Bill Duffy and whatever Mark Walter and Guggenheim add on to this organization this year, organizationally, whatever they all come together and build in the short term, because I think the long term obviously is when it's going to be at its best, but in the short term, in the long run, what these entities build together will lead to the result on the basketball court for Luka Dončić, his teammates in the Los Angeles Lakers. But the era is over. The Klutch era is over from the standpoint of being the main voice in the room. And Luka and his agency are now the new voice in the room. I don't want to say new sheriff in town, but they're the new golden child. They're the chosen one. They're the one that the Lakers are going to consult with first. They're the ones that the Lakers are going to talk to about things. They're the ones they're going to communicate with before the Lakers go out and make any type of big move or almost whatever move. They're going to check in with them and make sure that they're good with it. Are there any problems? You guys bless this. And I also feel that there's going to be even less leaks or less passive-aggressive media pushing or the machine working. Like, I think this is going to be the Lakers organization since Magic left has been pretty quiet. Most of the stuff that ever came out about the Lakers was after talks with another team ended, and then it came out. Or the machine was pushing stuff out there to the media to push their narrative or be the machine, being the Braun machine, right? Which is good business. They control their narratives. They push their agendas. They're powerhouse. It's what powerhouses do. So Luka and Bill Duffy are more like the Lakers organization where they kind of stay behind. They stay behind the curtain a little bit. They're not going to be out there all over the place. They're not out there trying to have that brand recognition. Look, he got one of his toys here. That brand recognition thrown in your face every day of the week. They don't need that. They don't need that. They don't want that. So it's going to be a little change of pace, a little something different. And I think the Lakers are at peace with that. In a strange way, I think LeBron and Klutch Sports are at peace with that. And we're here now. We're here now. I can't believe that I'm sitting up here on July 7th talking about how the Lakers are Luka's team. It still doesn't feel real that this is happening. It still doesn't feel real. So when we're sitting out here and everyone's throwing fits about the Lakers haven't made any moves, or Rob Pelinka is asleep, or Rob Pelinka is at Disneyland, he's made 3 moves. You know who's made no moves? The Golden State Warriors. 0. Not a single move. Nothing. The Lakers did more in the first day than they did in the first 6 weeks of last year. And again, the trade market is where the Lakers are looking. The Lakers are working the trade market. They got things they can do. They got moves they can make. There's some precursors. There's some things that will be telling. For instance, Bradley Beal. I don't necessarily think he's a great fit for this team, because if you have a backcourt of Luka and Beal, it's probably not ideal. He's not the playmaker AR is. He's a better, he's a good player. He's better offensively. I think AR can do a lot of different things. Neither are good defenders. But if you got Luka, LeBron, and AR, you don't really have a need for Bradley Beal, because he's going to want to start. And if he's going to take that buyout, leave money on the table, and go to another team to take less, he's going to look for an opportunity to start. That's why that move that the Clippers made today, that looks like a move to preclude, like in advance of a Bradley Beal or a CP3 signing. Now, and I do mean if, because I don't foresee this, but if Bradley Beal does indeed choose the Lakers, and this is a big, big if, because I think the Clippers probably have the inside track. If Bradley Beal chooses the Lakers, then that means someone's gone. I don't know if it's AR. I don't know if it's LeBron. I know it's not Luka. But it'd be hard to imagine a team that has other needs, even though it would be a minimum deal most likely, or the BAE. It would be very strange for the Lakers to sign Bradley Beal and for us to assume that we're probably keeping Austin Reeves, which would mean a bigger deal is coming. So this could be waiting that out. This could be, today was the first day that teams could sign guys. Yesterday. So things will start being fluid now. The market is weird now. Like, remember I said in my last Lakers show, when I was like, we don't have that guy holding up the market this year. We don't have that KD. We don't have that LeBron. We don't have that guy. We don't have the Kawhi. We don't have the guy holding up the market this year. It's not there. That's why everything kind of popped off right out the gate. But while Bradley Beal might not be holding up the market, teams could be looking to make moves after he makes his decision, if it's a team he's going to. So the move today of Norman Powell and John Collins and Kevin Love, that's a deal that looks like another deal is coming for the Clippers or Miami, and definitely for Utah, because I doubt Kevin Love is staying there. So when you look at all this, and if you're someone that reads tea leaves and tries to think a step ahead, The Bradley Beal situation would never make sense for the Lakers unless the Lakers have a move for AR in place, which they wouldn't do until they got Beal. But again, I don't think it's likely. I'm not sure that the Lakers see Bradley Beal as the guy you move off of AR for, unless you think what you're getting for AR and maybe Rui or something brings you back a piece that can play with Luka for years. They hold AR very highly. They're not just going to move him to make room for Bradley Beal. Like, yeah, Brad, come on, Brad Beal, come on down here. We'll get rid of Austin just to give you a spot. No, they wouldn't do that. I think the Lakers would rather have AR than Bradley Beal. So the only reason they move Austin Reeves is the only way they get Bradley Beal is if they got a move they really like for Austin Reeves and they slide Bradley Beal into that 2 spot. But that's got to mean that you're getting a legit wing for AR. I mean, a legit wing to get out there and play defense. Because if you got Luka and you got Beal and then you got Rui, Braun, and Ayton, that's not ideal. Not by a long shot. So you got your big in Ayton. You got your second or third big in Hayes. You've got another second/third big in Maxey, who might maybe even probably still get moved. Horford is still out there. Nick Richards is still available. There's things that can still happen. Oddly enough, Bill Duffy, you know who Bill Duffy also represents? Laker Nation savior Cam Whitmore. So if the Lakers wanted Cam Whitmore, or Luka wanted Cam Whitmore, or Bill Duffy wanted Cam Whitmore on the Lakers, he would have been here. He's not. So keep an eye out to what Bradley Beal does. Again, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he chooses the Lakers. I don't think he comes here because it just doesn't make sense unless you've got a deal lined up for AR that gets you a legit wing and now you need your 2 guard. That's the only way it makes sense to me. But I think Clippers, Miami, Milwaukee, these teams probably make a little bit more sense. Probably a guaranteed starting role. They made their trade in advance of him being bought out, which means they may know something. Or they're just doing all they can to make sure he knows that they want to get him, that they're signaling him. So these are all the things that you got to keep an eye on and pay attention to, the move before the move. These are the things that happen. These are the things that happen before a move takes place that gets you something to take the next step. Now, I don't know who that wing would be. I don't know who that player would be that the Lakers would get. But again, if they get Bradley Beal, I think AR's days could be potentially numbered. But on to another thing here. Another man on the screen here. That's Jaxson Hayes. And it wouldn't be a show if I didn't poke fun at the crash out section of Laker Nation. Because the crash out section, the toxic section, became unglued when they found out, or their mind told them, that Jaxson Hayes had a no-trade clause. Now, I immediately pushed back and told y'all that wasn't the case. He does not have a no-trade clause. He has a veto right. But in a lot of these situations, that player waives the veto right to stay with the team because per the new CBA, he has that right to waive it. Jaxson Hayes today, when he signed his deal, waived it. He does not have that veto no more. The Lakers can trade him. And he would lose his bird rights if they do. Now, they paid him a little more than the minimum, but they paid him less than the biannual exception. They paid him the most they could pay him on the raise off a back-to-back year minimum. And he will have his bird rights with them next year. So they still have their BAE. They can make some moves to get the full BAE. They split the full mid-level on Ayton and Larivia. So they've made their moves when it comes to the money. They got a little bit left. We keep hearing that Al Horford's going to the Warriors, but it's not done. It's not done. He's not there yet. Nick Richards is available. We keep hearing Wiggins. We keep hearing these names. But you know what? I just can't help but feel that the Lakers are in on someone that no one is talking about. That no one's talking about. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If you're the Los Angeles Lakers and you're kind of canvassing the league here, and you're like, look, we've got Austin. We do have some picks. We've got swaps. We've got filler money, expiring filler money, expiring higher than filler money in a Rui. If you're looking around the NBA and you're like, what team or teams need a little bit something different? Like, what's out there? Like the Knicks? Are they looking to move a piece or something there? They didn't go as far as they hoped. They got a new coach. Maybe he's got some ideas of some guys that he's either coached or seen play that he would like to coach. You know, are they potentially someone? Like, what teams out there that have not been linked to the Lakers would have interest in Austin Reeves or Rui Hachimura or both? Or both. Where do the Knicks hold Mikal Bridges right now? What do they think of him? They know what they paid to get him. Were they happy with the return? I'm not saying. I'm just saying these are the names you got to think about. Teams with change of scenery, teams with new head coaches, teams that have made some deals and cleared some guys out. These are the things you got to look for. Because I guarantee you the Lakers have talked to damn near everybody. And they're going to continue to talk to everyone until they find a deal that makes sense for them. And if a deal makes sense for them for Austin Reeves, they will do it. Look, the Lakers were not shopping Anthony Davis. And they probably would have told pretty much everyone no that came their way asking about Anthony Davis. Except Nico Harrison called asking about Luka. And there's no team in the league that's going to pass that up. No team. I love AD. You guys know this. You guys have heard me say this numerous times. Want us a chip. He chose us. He stayed here multiple times. The Lakers kept extending him. It was a mutual relationship. Mutually beneficial. Financially for both. And the only way they move him is if someone like Luka came along. Maybe even someone like an Anthony Edwards, maybe, like a Wemby, something of that caliber. So my point is there's always other guys available that no one is talking about because they're not talking to the whole league about it. They're talking to people on other teams that they trust, that they know can keep it quiet, that they know that it won't come out until the deal is done. And that's Rob Pelinka. And as much as a lot of you guys hate Rob Pelinka does a lot of business that never comes out. And when it usually does come out, it's usually when trade talks were done a while ago. And it came from another team or an agent or potentially a player involved in the deal. It rarely, if ever, comes out from the Los Angeles Lakers. We didn't hear a peep about Luka. We've heard other things, like when they made the deal for D'Lo and Vando and Beasley. We had heard of different variations of that deal. We had heard about it. Conley, we had heard about that version. D'Lo came into that one kind of later. But we had heard of versions of that deal. We had heard about it plenty of times. We've heard of a lot of deals that the Lakers have been linked to. But more than likely, it's after the Lakers passed on. After they probably like, nah, we're good. Maybe the other team called. They discussed parameters. Well, what would it take to start a conversation? The Lakers probably dropped the name. The other team said nah. Then called back and basically said that they talked to the Lakers. Because that's how a lot of it usually goes. But one of Rob's good abilities is he has made some bad deals. He has. But he's also passed on a lot of bad deals. On a lot of bad deals. Now, some of the biggest ones he should have passed on, he didn't pass on. And that's unfortunate. But he's passed on a lot of other bad deals. And passed on deals that could have handcuffed us pick-wise, all kinds of different scenarios. So this season, I do think, this offseason, I think is big for Rob. I think it's big for his doubters and his believers. I think it's a big summer for Rob. Coming into the new ownership group coming in. Like, they can sit up here and say that Jeannie's going to run it all they want. She's going to be the face. She's going to be the face. But there's no way that Mark Walter and Guggenheim are going to have their people in the building. There's no way they're going to let recklessness happen. There's no way they're not going to have quality people within the organization who know what they're doing and would stop something that would be lunacy from happening. Like that's not, they're not going to not have people. So Jeannie can have her office. She could be there. She can make decisions to a point. But at some point, especially when it comes to like major or long-term commitments, why do you think this 2027 talk keeps coming out about 2027? Why do you think that is? It's because they got a transaction coming. They're selling the team. They're not going to strap this roster with a bunch of guys that this ownership group may not want. Now, if it's someone massive and someone huge in a name that the Guggenheim group would be with, they'd run it up the chain of command. They'd get a yay or nay, and they'd go from there. But they're not going to go and add on to someone else's books while they're still finalizing a sale. And that's really where the 2027 thing comes from. Because anytime you're in negotiation to buy or sell something, the buyer has a clear objective of what they're buying. Like I said, when the late, great Dr. Buss was purchasing the Lakers, he made it clear to Jack Kent Cook that he would only buy them if they took Magic first. He wanted to buy the team with Magic Johnson on it. Jerry West did not want Magic Johnson. He wanted Sidney Moncrief. They took Magic Johnson, and Dr. Jerry Buss bought the Lakers, the Kings, a tennis team, and the Forum. But if they didn't do what Dr. Buss wanted done in that draft, he probably doesn't buy the Lakers, and history has changed forever. And Jack Kent Cook wasn't a guy that got pushed around a lot. He wasn't a guy that just did what other people wanted. He did what he wanted to do. So the fact that he did that, and he's like that, shows you that when you're in a sale, it's fragile. Anything at the last second, you can break a deal, just like a trade. That's why the more teams you add into a trade, a 3-team trade, a 4-team trade, a 5-team trade, all it takes is one of those teams to pull out, and that deal could be shattered. So that's how it is right now. Now, I don't think there's any way, shape, or form that the Guggenheim Group and Mark Walter pull out of this purchase of the Los Angeles Lakers, because I think that him and Jeannie are on the same page. I think that this has been discussed for years, and I think that they have a clear objective and idea of what they want to do. And as a result of that, this should go rather smoothly. But at the same time, I know for a fact that Mark Walter is making it very clear what he intends to purchase and what those parameters are that he intends to purchase, as he should. And it's Jeannie Buss's job to transition that into the new ownership. And I think that she will do what she's agreed to. I think she will. I think it'll be a very easy transition and handoff. I think she will be around for a little while. And I think that's a good thing. I think Jeannie around is a good thing. But the proper resources, the proper front office, the proper scouting, the proper medical, the proper facilities, Everything grade A, world class, like the Dodgers. And that's another thing. Players are going to want to be part of that. Players are going to want to be part of that. Steve Ballmer has lost that edge now. He's lost that edge. He was already second fiddle when it came to the brand. Now you got dudes with these pockets and a track record of success in professional sports. Ballmer can't compete with that. Ballmer can't walk in the room and talk about a CD-ROM loading a Windows program into a computer versus what Guggenheim has built. They can't do that. But they've got to expand this organization and bring back a lot of those resources that got let go after COVID. We need to have the best scouting department, the best Euro scouts, the best war room when it comes to the draft, the best training staff, the best nutritionists. This is all what the Dodgers have. It's hard to sit up here and talk about that when you got all these Dodgers hurt, but that's a condition of Major League Baseball right now. But the Dodgers have the best of the best in everything, down to their minor league system, which means the G League for the Lakers, is going to be insane too. So when that translates to the actual hardwood into NBA games, Luka Dončić, Bill Duffy, Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, and whoever's in the building via Guggenheim, this is the new brain trust of the Los Angeles Lakers. Klutch will still have a seat at the table, but there's new partners involved. There's new partners involved, and it's Bill Duffy and his agency along with Luka Dončić. And all decisions and all things that get done within the organization are going to be ran by Luka and his people, because that's what you do with your number one guy. Not to say that they're still not going to have conversations with LeBron, not to say that they're still not going to make sure he's good on things, not to say that they're not going to care about his feelings, because I'm sure they do. But what it really is Luka's that guy now. Luka is that guy now. And he's going to be that guy for the foreseeable future. Because, again, I believe 100% that he is going to sign that extension. I believe 100% that he's going to be a Laker for a long time. I don't know about Laker for life, because like I said, things happen in this league. Things happen in this game. How he got to the Lakers was crazy. So I'm past saying nothing I'm past the never say never stuff. But he's going to absolutely have a say in everything that goes on with the Los Angeles Lakers from here on out. So thank y'all for tuning in. Once again, I'm Empire Jeff. This is Empire Jeff TV. We are talking about Los Angeles Lakers guard Luka Dončić and his upcoming partnership with the Los Angeles Lakers, being as the main guy in the room when it talks to building the future out for the Los Angeles Lakers. We are talking about the end of the era and the passing of the torch from LeBron James to Luka Dončić, both on the court and in the Laker organization. I think LeBron has gone about this great. I think he's been incredible. I think, 5 years ago, LeBron probably would not have handled this well. But considering when this happened, how this happened, I think you have to give a lot of credit to LeBron James for how he's handled this transition. And yeah, his agent did have some interesting quotes about his future, but I think that was obvious to anyone who has a pulse, right? I think that wasn't anything that caught anyone off guard. I think that was normal. And again, LeBron, his camp have always done a fantastic job of keeping LeBron in the news and in the narratives and controlling narratives. That's their job. They're phenomenal at it. They'll continue to do it even after LeBron retires. It's what they do. But it's Luka's team now. It's Luka's organization now. And now we're going to see how they go about things. And Luka likes the lob threats. Luka likes a particular type of player. And you're going to start to see a lot of those players join this team to fit Luka Dončić's skill set and help the Los Angeles Lakers hopefully win many championships. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. You can also become a member to the channel for less than the cost of lunch. You can become a member for an entire month. Hit that join button or the first link in the description to become a member. And this show was brought to you by Fanatics. Make sure to get your MLB, NBA, NFL gear, and more. Make sure to use our link to get special discounts, and your purchase also helps support the channel. We have partnered with the good people at Fanatics, so when you order through them via us, they take care of us because we sent you there. They're good partners. Shout out to all you guys who've already currently purchased something. You get a good deal. You get the gear you're going to wear anyways. NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. You can also tap that Cash App, $Empire Jeff. Make sure to follow us on all socials at Empire Jeff TV, on Twitter X, on IG, here on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook. I'm sure I'm forgetting other stuff because there's so many things now, but make sure to follow me on all those locations. I appreciate everyone who has done so already. The last week or so, you guys have really, really, really helped grow the channel even more. I thank you guys. And it's been fun getting back to covering both sports. It's been fun talking NBA and MLB. I did a Dodger show earlier tonight. I'm doing a Lakers show now. So if you're a Dodger fan, a Laker fan, an NBA fan, MLB fan, make sure to go ahead and give me a follow. We'd greatly, greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to some of your chats now. Let me bring these up. We got Craig. What's going on, Craig? Thank you for tuning in. You caught the Dodger show. You're back here now. I appreciate you. Search and Destroy, the mod god, the god mod, the father of mods. Appreciate you, brother. The best in the business. Thank you for being here. This is how good he is, man. I started ripping and running from the top. I was hyped to get going on this show, and I was muted. Look at me up here making amateur rookie mistakes, like muted, like a straight moron. Appreciate you, sir. Search was on that quick. Was able to shut that down and get you guys some audio here, so I appreciate that. Craig said Lakers need a backup center, defensive guard, and some wing help. So yeah, they need another big. They need that bruising big. They need that pick and pop big or bruising big. They need a point of attack defender at the guard position, and they definitely need another wing. This is exactly what they're looking for. That's what I'm saying. Like, they got Larivia, they got Ayton, they kept Hayes, they purchased the rights basically to get a rookie. This has not been as horrific as an offseason as some of these crash out Laker fans will portray. Like, it's been a decent start considering what was out there. Now we wait and see what happens on the trade market, which is what the Lakers are looking for. Let's see. Drip Show. What's going on, Drip Show? Back at it. Empire Jet 2. Yeah, man. You were on the Dodger show earlier, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in as always. We got Jedi Chris. What's going on, Jedi Chris? Just like the Lion King, it's the circle of life. What's going on, Chris? Appreciate you, brother. Chris, the graphic god, man. Love you, brother. Hope you and the family doing well, bro. Purple and Gold. What's going on, Purple and Gold? What's good, Empire Jeff? How you doing? Search is doing well, man. Search runs the world, bro. He runs the world. Does Klutch Sports represent high-level role players only, or do they have superstars besides the King? Well, if you consider AD a superstar, they represent AD. Like they've had some like really good players like over time. They've had guys leave because clearly their priority is LeBron James, and some guys really didn't like that. I'll probably say the best player they've had other than LeBron was AD. AD is still there, but most of them are pretty like high level or to mid level role players or younger players, and they're not just in the NBA; they're in other sports too. Let's see. Yes, sir. Glad to be with you guys. Appreciate you. Greg said Luka has to recruit players for the Lakers. He will. Like this. I mean, the Ayton thing was Luka. Like the Ayton thing was Luka. It was Luka. It was his agency. That was them putting that together. So he's already on the job. He's doing it already. Search says, think the Slippers going after Beal? They are. Like I said, that move and that trade they made today only makes more sense that he could be going there. We'll wait and see. It could mean Chris Paul. It could mean someone else. But if I'm a betting man, I would lean more towards Beal. Like I said, the Lakers and Beal don't really make sense unless the Lakers are moving Austin. And if the Lakers are moving Austin, it's going to have to be for a pretty good player, because from everything we've heard and everything we've been told, the Lakers don't have a lot of interest in moving Austin unless it's for that guy, right? So we'll wait and see on that. So if the news comes out and Bradley Beal has chosen the Lakers, even though that would be a good deal for the Lakers money-wise, the fit, I don't know. But if it does go that route, that means the Lakers like the fit. That means that Beal likes the fit and thinks he's getting starters minutes more than likely. The Lakers aren't bringing Austin Reeves off the bench in a contract year. It's not happening. So with both of those things being said, if Bradley Beal chooses Lakers, the Lakers have chosen another player to move Austin Reeves for, I believe. That's just my opinion. What's going on, Miguel? Appreciate you, brother. He goes, hey, Jeff, good to hear from you. Also, please remind everyone the offseason is 2 to 3 months, not 2 to 3 weeks. Bro, they didn't even give it 2 to 3 days, brother. They didn't even give it 2 to 3 days. The crash out portion of Laker Nation was crashing all the way the F out. They were losing their minds over Jaxson Hayes coming back, losing their minds. I couldn't tell enough people, look, this is not a no trade clause and it's probably going to get waived. This is not a no trade clause. It's probably going to get waived. This is not a no trade clause. It's probably going to get waived. I got called everything in the book. I got shot down. I got called, like I said, people who can't even spell CBA, try to understand the CBA. If you're going to get out here and talk, at least halfway know what you're talking about, and you're just riding a wave, looking for some attention and some hugs on the internet, just joining the conversation and being cookie cutters, this wasn't going to happen. The Lakers were not giving Jaxson Hayes veto power on a deal. It wasn't going to happen. But them narratives, though. You know how they go with them narratives, though. Chris said, sick of Steve Ballmer and slippers. I mean, they haven't won anything, right? I mean, a team and an owner and an organization committed to competing or trying to compete. I understand things don't always go their way. I can respect that, though. I can respect the team that's out there trying to compete, trying to do their thing to win. I can respect that. I'm not a Clipper fan. I'm not out there rooting for what they got going on, but I can respect the team going for it. I can respect the team that's trying to do things. Always, for sure. They're clearing cap space and traded Powell. Yeah, they're going to have a monster amount of money available next season. I think I heard something. I think they only have like 80-something million on their books for next season. So that's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy if they can go out there and get, a major. They're going to start saying that the Clippers cleared room for Luka. The Clippers are trying to apply pressure on the Lakers and trying to attach some of that conversation to their brand. I get it. I would be 100% shocked if Luka left the Lakers for the Clippers, considering how disloyal he was treated and how he's spoken on that. I don't even think for a second Luka would entertain being to that level of disloyal. I just don't see it happening. I don't. What's going on, Kane? My thing is the fact people are sentimental about Rui, knowing you got Luka and Braun. You need two-way athletes to win. I don't know why anyone would be sentimental about Rui. He didn't win a chip with us. He's not part. You know what I mean? We didn't draft him. I'm not sentimental about Rui at all. If we can get something better, adios. I like Wiggins. I think he would be a good addition, but I'm not giving up a pick for him. I'm not giving up a pick for him. Wiggins is more of a need than Rui, so I would move Rui for Wiggins and whatever filler is needed. But I'm not giving up a pick for that. I'm not. He did recruit him. But he may not have told him that he's going to be there for the rest of his career, right? He just may have opened the door. Maybe Laribia wanted to go there all along and just reached out to Austin to find out what it was like. Doesn't mean that, Austin told him we're going to play together for 10 years, brother. It's not how that goes. You know what I mean? It's not how it always goes. I think Laribia is a better version of Rui. Yeah, exactly. Rob needs to realize two-way talent wins enough with these one-way dudes. I do agree with that. We might get lucky with that. Get lucky. See what you did there. Pun intended with lucky. We might get lucky with him. Why was Genie more about family instead of hiring quality people? Well, they had quality people, and then COVID kicked in, and they didn't have fans in the stands, and their income went down, and they're a family business. They're not this mega multi-billion-dollar corporation like a lot of these new owners are. So she let those people go simply because the money wasn't rolling in for basically 2 years, and the money they were paying all these players, they were paying tax. The Bus family, it's not just like the one owner. She runs the trust, right? So you have all these siblings that pocket off it, and all of them all necessarily want to put all their money back into the team. So the way it goes is Genie simply could not compete with these other owners financially to build out these huge organizations. She couldn't do it. So she wanted to pay her players, pay her coaches, and do all that. They were going to have to cut other areas because of the money that they missed out on during the COVID time. And that just happened to be what it was. Kane said, Jeff, my criticism has never been about stars outside of the Brody trade. I just feel they need to prioritize the right two-way guys like they did in 2020. I think they would love to, but the problem is there's been a premium on those guys. And where you could get those guys for for $5 million a year before. You can't get those guys for $5 million a year anymore. The market for them has gone up. Look at even what the markup is going here and what the market is for bigs. Bigs couldn't find a deal anywhere a couple years ago. Now you're getting backup bigs. That market is now $7-8 million for a backup. A backup. That's the market for a backup big right now. And these are guys that couldn't get past the minimum before. So the market shifts. So where you could get guys for $5 to $7 million, now those guys cost 14 to 20. Those guys have gone up in value because they impact winning. So you can't stack the deck like you did in 2020. It's just not the same league. It's not the same economical system. Don't care 187. What's up, my brother? What's up, Jeff? Time for Mark to clean house, starting with LaFraud, JJ, Pelinka, Bronny, hire the Freeman of basketball. So the Freeman of basketball would be Presti. And I don't think that's going to happen. But I mean, again, who knows? I continue to say that I don't like to say nothing's going to happen, but it could. But it is a tough. That would be a tough move for Presti to make and leave that organization. Festo's going to shut me up somehow, right? Yeah, there it goes. Stop it, Jeff. Braun has been terrible regarding Luka. Keep it G, bro. He's passive as he is passive, but what I'm saying is, like, you know, when I'm talking about what you've heard about, LeBron is going to protect his brand, Festo. That comes with anything. A lot of guys would. That's not a Braun thing. That's an alpha thing. So his thing of, you know, everything we've heard, you know, he's checked in with them. Like he's shown respect from everything I've read and understood. Like as far as what you've seen, LeBron doing passive aggressive stuff, he does that every year, even when things are good. So that's, again, the machine at work is the machine at work. But as far as what's happened with Luka, everything that I've heard him been told is it's been fine. Like he understands where they are in the evolution of things. He just wants to see, look, are we going to be able to put a roster together this year? So no, I disagree with that because I've been told otherwise by people that know more than me. What's up, though, Jeff? Can't prevent that dude, though. What's going on, Festo? Let's see. Appreciate you, Serge. What's that, Lieutenant House? What's going on, man? Call me crazy, but I'm excited about the Ayton pickup. You're not crazy. I'm excited about it too. It could fail, but to me, it's low risk, high reward. I like this way better than the Christian Wood signing. The reason this, man, his wingspan is 6'10" average for his career, no matter where he's been, whether he's playing at home, whether he's playing on the road, beginning of the year, end of the year, no matter what day of the week. He's been steady with that number. Now, you give him someone like Luka, AR, and LeBron, I think he's going to have a solid year. Now, this isn't, he's not a league-changing move unless this move changes the Lakers so much that the team changes the league and goes out there and dominates. But this is a very good move. This is the best center we've had on this team in a while, skill set wise. Now, people talk about low motor. Again, he's better the second half of the year. Low motor guys typically aren't. So he's had issues in certain places, but you got to look at those dynamics. All right. And not that the Lakers are perfect, but he's on a team now where his agent has more say, where the star of the team and his agency are on the team with him. This is a little bit different of a situation than it was in Phoenix, where him and Monty Williams did not have a great relationship. He played great with Chris Paul, but Williams was kind of being weird with him. Then he gets sent to Portland. He got nothing to play for there. They're just getting rid of people. They're tanking. So let's see what he looks like in a situation where he's giving starters minutes. He's playing with a star, bona fide superstar, playing with LeBron James, playing with AR. Let's see what he looks like in that situation before we judge the move. But I definitely like him at center over any of the other options that were available this past offseason. Purple and Gold says, I remember when Phil Handy turned down the Lakers offer to come back, and you said there's a lot of Phil Handys out there. Now we got Justin Robinson. Yep, told you, man. I told you. And no disrespect to Phil Handy, but again, he had like this cult following that he was like the only guy that can do player development. And I always came back to them. Why was our development so bad when Phil Handy was here? Why? It's no diss to Phil Handy. I'm just saying, like, we didn't have the best player development when he was here. And if you're the player development guy and we don't have that player development, there's going to be a conversation. There has to be. And there wasn't. There wasn't the player development we had hoped for. Matter of fact, you could say that Max took a leap after he was gone. Max Christie took a leap after he was gone. He developed after he left. So what does that tell you? Take it for what it's worth. Festo said, Lakers need to trade Reeves. He's not worth 30. So we talked about this too. And 2 years ago, no, he wouldn't have been worth 30. But the economics of the game and how the money continues to go up. You got guys making $45 to $50 million a year that aren't those type of guys, right? So Austin Reeves at $30 million a year is going to be like what guys were at $20 million a year or two ago. The 30 is the new 20. The cap is going up 10% per year. The new TV deals going in. The players get more revenue sharing. The salaries go up. So you're going to see guys making 60 to 70 million a year at the top end. You're going to see guys making 40 to 50 at the middle end. And someone like Austin Reeves making 30 isn't that insane next summer. As crazy as it may be to process that, the economics, the evolution of the finances and the math in the NBA, that's going to be the going rate for someone like Austin Reeves, and plenty of teams will pay for that. They will. But if you're thinking about what it was 2-3 years ago, and you're looking at someone who was getting paid $30 million like James Harden, and you're thinking Austin Reeves is not worth that money, you're right. He wouldn't have been 3-4 years ago. But next summer, when players like him are getting 35 to 40 million, 30 million might end up being what his current contract is. When right now he's getting 13 and people are like, man, he's underpaid. Austin Reeves may be labeled underpaid on his next deal. He might be. I mean, he's got to deliver. He's got to play. He's got to keep getting better. But $30 million next summer is not what $30 million were 2 summers ago. And that's just the reality of it. Adam, what's going on, man? All they need to do is get rid of Gabe and Maxey, and they're good. And I think that they're going and they're working for that. You know, Gabe is filler. Maxey's expiring, both expiring deals. You should be able to get something for them, or get something with maybe a Rui or something with them included to get more salary included. Who that is, I don't know. But I think there's a chance that Gabe and Maxey could easily be moved this offseason, for sure. We get Beal, then trade AR for a wing. I mean, if they get Beal, it's more than likely because there's another deal coming. That's pretty much, what I'm saying. What's going on, Dylan? I'm assuming you mean Dame time? I don't think so. Dame's already up there in age. He's probably not going to play next year. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think the Lakers are getting anyone and they have to wait half a year for. That's just me. I don't know why they never liked into Mo Wagner. He's a very solid player. Well, they didn't really have the chance to. It was pretty much known from the get-go that when he became a free agent, that he was going to go back to Orlando. He wasn't, from what I understood, he wasn't looking to even entertain other teams. What's going on, Alex? Why is Melton going to the Warriors now? Are the Lakers waiting for Beal or just too cheap for Melton? Did that come out? I didn't see that. Last I heard, the Lakers still had the inside track on him. If that's changed, I don't know. But we heard the Warriors were getting Horford, the Lakers were getting Melton. You're like, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know if that's true or not. Lakers tax is real. Watch Wiggins go to another for a bag of chips, movie tickets, and Superman. Maybe he might. Adam says that guy Stewart is tearing up in the summer league. They need to sign him to a 2-way, and he might. But he's tearing it up in the California Classic against 24-hour fitness guys. Let's see how he does in Vegas against the little better summer league, and let's see how he does in preseason. But maybe they'll consider it. We'll see how it goes. But I wouldn't overreact to what someone is doing right now. What do you think Rob's basketball philosophy is? You see a consistent philosophy in other teams. Rob is very methodical. He waits things through. He doesn't rush. He doesn't jump the gun. He doesn't react because crash out Laker fans are screaming or throwing tantrums, or weirdos are protesting outside of crypto.com arena. He does what he feels is the right move, even if it ends up being wrong. So he's very methodical. He's very patient. He's very calculated. He's very good at knowing the CBA and the math. So, and he's also probably trying to plan some things out. And Sometimes when you're patient and you're waiting for something, and maybe you pass up on something on the hope that something else becomes available, that something else doesn't become available, and then you're kind of stuck. That's kind of where Rob gets burned. Maybe sometimes he's a little too methodical, but the biggest problem with Rob is he's a one-man shop. He needs a GM. He needs an assistant GM. He needs other guys in there doing the day-to-day with him, right? That's what he really needs. So I think what holds Rob back is that he does too much himself. And when you can't delegate and you're doing everything yourself, you can't be in three places at one time, no matter how great you are. So that's one thing I think about Rob is he's got to, when the Lakers do go back to bringing more people in, he's got to be open to that, and he's got to be able to work with these people. I feel like Ayton, Wiggins can be great. We forgot bro had family issues after the ring, the Draymond Poole situation. He needs stability. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Wiggins could be a decent addition to the Lakers, but I'm not giving up a pick for him. I'm just not. Yeah, you can say, I think he is, man. I think he is. If Reeves isn't coming off the bench and I'd move him, I'm sorry. Love the kid. But if AD can get moved, Reeves can as well, unless he volunteers to come off the bench. He's not going to volunteer to come off the bench. He's just not. Honestly, ratings have been declining, so hopefully the NBA makes a comeback. Yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to have to get creative here. Also, if I'm Rob, I look out for the rookie. He'd be a great sixth man. Not off the top. Just saying Bulls are the easiest team to swindle. DK for I got the name mixed up. Yeah. I misread the beginning part of you. Yeah. I mean, maybe. What's going on, Vegas? Dev, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you for being here, for being a member, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good fourth. The money is insane now. Book got 2 years, 150 mil. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. When you see some of these guys going to be making $50 to $70 million a year, I'm telling you, even as crazy as it sounds, $30 million for Austin Reeves is not going to be crazy when you see what some of these other dudes are making. Beal is just so serious to me. I think the Clippers make better sense for me. I'm telling you, yeah, I do too. I think so too. 24-hour fitness. I mean, it's kind of what it is, Serge. It's kind of what it is. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video, man. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. You become a member to the channel as well. If you've been in here, about 30% of the people who watch on a nightly basis have yet to subscribe to the channel. You're in here every night anyway. Subscribe to the channel. Drop a like on the video. Share the video. Put it out to your socials. Let's get more people up in here and continue this conversation of this great game that we love. Let's see. What's up, Mr. Laidback? You said, do you really think the Lakers are landing Bradley Beal? I don't really believe they're doing it. I was just talking about if they do, then it's probably a precursor to something else or another move. What's going on, Mr. X? Jeff, is Phoenix interested in trading Dylan Brooks? No, he just extended, so he's ineligible. Wait, did he extend this offseason? No, I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't think they're interested in trading him. From what I understand, that all the moves they made this offseason, they consulted with him. So you probably don't do that unless you have plans for him in the future. People talking to each other. Let me mind my business. Stephanie Cat Curry, what's going on, man? When does free agency end? It doesn't end. You can sign people, all the way up to March 1st, when they become ineligible to play in the playoffs if they weren't waived by March 1st, technically. So free agency never ends. You can sign guys to 10 days. You can bring guys in. Free agency doesn't end. There's a trade deadline. There's all that. You can't sign a guy after a certain point in the season and have him play in the playoffs. And you can't sign a free agent for the next year in a year that he's currently under contract. But outside of that, free agency really doesn't end. People talking to each other. I am more worried if Rob gets pressured by fans and makes moves based on what fans think. That's never been Rob's MO. He's never really bowed down or caved in to the crash out Laker portion, to the crash out Laker Nation portion. It's not his MO. So I don't think that'll happen. So I wouldn't think about that being a worry at this point. I feel like teams would rather help the Clippers than the Lakers. I don't know about that. It's not necessarily about help. The Clippers always had movable pieces, right? When you had these guys in that $10 to $18 million range that were playable and that were good, you can always make trades. Norm Powell, example today, you could trade him anytime you want. He's a value player. So the Clippers have done a good job at adding guys onto their roster in a certain range of money that makes it easier for them to be traded. And the Lakers have always been very top heavy and very minimum or mid-level. They didn't have a lot of that middle area, 12 to $18 million guys. And now they did this last year. Jeff, would you do this Reeves, Rui, and Dalton for Jalen Suggs? They low-key captain. I think it would make sense for both teams. I wouldn't do that just for Jalen Suggs. Alex said, I personally don't think Rob lasts once new ownership takes over. He might not. He really might not. What are they going to do when Giannis gets traded to another team next year and Joker resigns with the Nuggets? Then their plan is 2029. Look, the 2027 thing isn't what it's made out to be. The 2027 thing isn't about going after free agents in 2027. It partially is, as far as like it could be a target if guys are available, but you can't control that. What the 2027 thing is keeping the books clean, the balance sheet for the new ownership. So when this new team takes over in October, right, they don't want to come in and have a bunch of guys on this team that they got to be with for 4 or 5 years. So they're kind of putting a window out there for a range that they can add to, unless it's a certain quality of player, like Luka. They did this before. So this isn't really about the Lakers just targeting 2027. It's partially it, but it's not all of it. The Lakers are trying to keep a balance sheet and a debt sheet cleared for the new ownership, that they don't want a bunch of deadbeat contracts on there trying to save a season of LeBron James. You get what I'm saying? So that's not what's going to happen. You back on this YouTube grind? I'm trying. Don't care. I'm trying. I got a lot going on in my life, and I'm doing the best I can. And like I said, I did a Dodger show earlier today, right before the show. I'm doing the Lakers show now. I'm doing all my shorts and the clips and doing all that. I'm doing the best I can to try to keep up. The response has been great. YouTube has been pushing me out again, so that's great. As long as people continue to keep showing up, I'm going to do my best to try to keep showing up as well. JFK 51 said, Rob ain't going nowhere. I don't know. This Dodger group that has been, kind of has a track record of this before. Like the first thing I said when they bought it, and for those who don't know who he is, the first thing I said is, man, don't be surprised if Rob Pelinka gets Ned Colletti. And Ned Colletti was a good GM. A lot of those guys that were on that Dodgers World Series team from 2020, his fingerprints were all over that team. Drafting, signing, all over. But they went and they got Andrew Friedman, and they reassigned Ned Colletti to other things, to other teams that the Guggenheim was part of. He became a studio analysis. So I could see Rob remaining with the organization, but then putting someone above him, which I've always said there should always be someone between Rob and who's ever the final decision maker. I think Rob as a GM is not bad. Rob working the day-to-day, knowing the cap, making phone calls, but not as the final decision maker. I think that's the best thing for Rob and the Lakers. I think Rob could be a good day-to-day guy. I just think there needs to be a guy who's the bigger picture guy and the final say in all the decisions. And when they bring it to Jeannie's got to trust this man, woman, probably a man. There's not many female president of basketball operations in the NBA. But what I'm saying is it has to be that person that this is what they do. So getting the quote-unquote Andrew Friedman of the NBA, they need someone. To me, I don't necessarily think that Myers is that guy. I just don't. I know he's got a track record of success, but Myers wasn't responsible for a lot of that success. He inherited a lot of it. So if you're going to sit up here and give credit, and this is what I talk about, it's got to be both ways. You can't sit up here and say that you're not going to give Rob Pelinka credit for getting AD or Luka because others made that happen for him. Then you can't give Bob Myers credit for getting KD. You can't give him credit because that was Draymond and Steph and all that. So you can't give him the credit for that if you don't give Rob the credit for AD and Luka. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And he didn't draft Steph. He didn't draft Clay. And Steph's broken ankles left and right that got him less than the max and put them in a weird cap situation to where they could get to a max salary for KD. Bob Myers had nothing to do with that. Now, he didn't royally mess it up, kind of did with the KD situation, but he didn't build that team. That's why I always said Tim Connolly, who built the Nuggets and then the Wolves, give me that guy, because he's been twice the ground up guy. Twice. That would be the guy I would prefer. Obviously, I'd take Presti in a second, but I don't think he goes anywhere. I don't think, but I can't predict. Oh, Kane says, maybe, but I just don't think that's the move they move Austin for. Mr. X says, Jeff, are you high on LaRivia? Why is the media saying that he is DFS replacement? He is not a defender. I think like DFS, he's a different guy. I think he's athletic enough that in a scheme used correctly with JJ and his coaches, I think he could be effective because he's athletic, he's long, he's got bounce, he could fill a passing lane. Is he going to be a one-on-one guy that can just shut a guy down? No. That's why I said they need to get another wing in there. But I really like him. I like him playing with someone like Luka, the way he can run and stretch the floor. He can get hot in a hurry. He has a quick release. He's a good fit next to these guys. And I like him. And the money that they got him for, I would take that in a second. So whereas maybe DFS is a better defender than him in most cases, he's a way better offensive player than DFS. And I think that in a system, team defensively, he can be a decent defender. What's going on? Div says, just subscribe because Luka is awesome. Well, thank you, Luka, for getting a new sub, brother. I appreciate you. Thanks for the sub. And guys, if you are new and this is your first time here and you like the NBA, the MLB, the Lakers, the Dodgers, whatever, make sure to give us a subscribe here, sub up to the channel. We'd appreciate it. We got Joseph Soro in the building. Says, well, Lakers in the house. What's going on, Joseph? Yeah, man. Did 2 shows today, man. Did the Dodgers and now this one. So I'm trying to keep going with this, man. Ain't gonna lie. I'm tired, though. Tired. Right on. Keep on the good work, brother. Appreciate you, Don't Care. Thank you, man. Let's see. Don't take as long. Appreciate you. Let's see. Joe does have a playback. Joe does have a search. Can you, if you're still in here, can you put Joe's playback in the chat, please? You said you were going to do a show on your basketball Luka games. I think you're talking to Joe, not me. So let me move on here. Stephanie can't Curry. Yeah. Mark Walter is a great owner. And the best thing about Mark Walter is I don't want to use the word absentee owner because he's not. He's around, right? He knows what's going on. He has his pulse on things. But he lets his people do their thing. He's not like a Jerry Jones. He's not in there micromanaging. He's not involved in a lot of the processes. If it's something big, they bring it to him. Other than that, the day-to-day stuff, he leaves his people to do. So I would expect for that to continue with the Lakers once the right people are in place and he trusts the process and he trusts the structure of what the Lakers have in place. Make sure to drop a like on the video, guys. How many likes do we got right now? Come on now. 35 likes on the video. Come on, y'all. Drop a like on the video. It's free. Help your boy out here. Drop a like, sub up. Let's see. I think I just put that one. There was no surprise, EJ. Rob will be gone. So we'll see. We'll see. I think there's a good chance that he could be. But we'll see. I don't know how much say Jeannie will have in that. But if she has a say, and the only reason I speak on this is because I'm just going to speak on it. That might have been kind of part of an arrangement. Jeannie staying on, Rob staying on, and Rob may be godfathered into something. And that's why I'm saying someone above him is probably more realistic than him being outright. But we'll see. We'll see. Appreciate your JFX. I try to be fair. I'm kind of known as the fair guy around here. Kind of known as that. It's kind of my MO. Ned said the foundation for the current Dodgers success drafted Kershaw, Seager, Jock Bellinger, etc. Yeah, his fingerprints were all over that championship team and the 2024. What's a move you predicted will happen? Well, some of them already have, which was Ayton and Hayes because of Duffy's in the agent situation. The next one, I'm not so sure. I don't know exactly who it will be, but I think a point of attack guard and a wing are going to be coming. I think they're going to be coming. I don't know exactly who, but I think they're coming. See, that's going to be a weird negotiation there because the Lakers would want a first in that, but the Pels would want a first in that, and that would probably kill the deal. So I don't think the Lakers see a straight swap of that as value for them, and I don't think the Pelicans do either on the other side. I don't. Presti Malone, do it new ownership. imagine Malone as a Laker coach. Like imagine that, the craziness that would come from that. That would be wild. That would be absolutely wild. Mike Malone as a coach of the Lakers would be crazy. I'm a little surprised that he didn't get more of a shot at the Knicks gig. I thought for sure that he would was probably going to be the front runner for that gig, but I was wrong there. Patty Wagon, what's going on, Patty Wagon? What moves you talking about, Empire Jeff? I've talked about a whole lot of things. I don't know exactly which one you're talking about. Drip Show says the best two-way channel on YouTube, Empire Jeff TV. Thank you, brother. There are a lot of great shows, but I humbly do agree that there's very few that do the crossover. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate you. And been down for day one. So thank you. That Lakers hat is pretty fire. Appreciate you, man. I've got my hat collection is wild, bro. My hat collection is wild. I got more hats than I know what to do with. I got more hats than I could wear. So when I go on and grab, I'm like, what am I going to rock today? I'm like, which hat am I going to wear in the stream? I do my best to keep Dodgers while doing Dodgers and Lakers while doing Lakers, but sometimes I mix them up because I be forgetting what stream I'm about to do. I got like 20 hats right here next to me, so I can just switch them up. So I appreciate you. My sneaker collection and my hat collection, I think is up there. So appreciate you. You said Ace Bailey is a stud. What's going on, The Thinker? Appreciate you. Ace Bailey, huh? Bro reminds me of T-Mac. So that's a high comparison. Freakish athletic. I think that's a high comparison. I think Pelinka fired after this year. Well, let me ask you something. And again, maybe he is. Look. If Rob Pelinka, I'm going to keep saying this because I mean it. If Rob Pelinka gets fired, I won't care. Like, I won't care. My issue isn't about keeping Rob or Rob is this or Rob is that. It's not that. My thing is just be fair. When he does something that deserves credit, give the man credit. When he does something he deserves to be chewed out for, chew him out. But don't simply just blame him for everything and don't give him credit for nothing, even when he earns it. That's my pushback. If he's gone, I don't care. I don't care who's running the Lakers as long as they're doing a great job. I don't care who it is as long as they're doing a great job. And if they have to move Rob, if they got to fire Rob to get someone in there that's going to kill it, do that move now. Do it yesterday. I got no problem with that. No problem with that. Alex says, I doubt Walker going to pay all this money for the team and not have final say things and let Jeannie have a final say. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Jeannie will still be around, be a face of sorts, but I think so. I think you're right. I honestly think Lakers should stick to keeping cap space for Giannis and or Joker. For now, I say get Kai Jones and DeAnthony Melton and be done to the trade deadline. I don't know necessarily like what happens with Giannis. Like if Giannis gets traded to a place that he's happy there, then that's that Paul George situation all over again, right? You can't wait for guys that could become free agents that may never choose you or become a free agent in the first place. So I think the Lakers would be playing a dangerous game waiting on free agency when the Lakers have never been that team that really gets anyone in free agency. They got LeBron, they got Shaq, but outside of that, it's pretty much been via trade. And so the Lakers probably are going to continue down that path. And I think that they're going to look to clean their books to potentially make a trade for someone that's not a free agent. Someone may ask out, someone may be unhappy, like AD, how they got him. Like, I think that's more likely than something else. Joe says, Coletti drafted Kershaw, Seager, Bellinger, helped convince Kenley to move from catcher to pitcher and got Justin Turner and turned him around. He still was jettisoned. Yep. Because they had kind of peaked with him. They didn't believe that he could run an organization that they were trying to run. And yeah, he did some good work. Brian Green, what's going on, Brian Green? Why are the Lakers so bullheaded about clinging to Austin Reeves? That's a good question. And I think it's because they like his value. They think that what he's making this year at $13 million a year, he's outplaying his contract. And when you have players who outplay their contract, you don't give them away for free. Now, whether you like Austin or don't like Austin, you cannot say that he's not worth $13 million. So unless you can find someone that's really, really good, that can give you his production without overpaying what you're paying Austin, and have that person long-term and maybe get something else. The problem is it's really, really hard to get equal value for Austin because of his salary. Now, if you're moving Austin and Rui and you get up to that 30, 31, 32, whatever $1 million range, now you're talking. But now you're sending out 2 rotation players. What are you getting back? So that's really what it is. It's not, I don't believe it's really them clinging to him. I don't think they're married to Austin. I think they would move him if it was the right deal and if they could get something that they like for now and for later. If they don't come across that, then I don't think that they will move him right now. Rob Pelinka could get Giannis this summer and he still will be out once Guggenheim takes over. That I definitely don't agree with. Definitely don't. Let's see. The thinker says, good night, Jeff. Mark Walters probably let Rob go. Jeff, I heard from a lot of baseball fans that Mark is a great owner. He's the best owner in baseball to me. Might be the best owner of all sports. So none of us know the future. I don't know the future. And again, I'm saying that Rob might have some security here. He might. We'll see. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. The Lakers roster is still redundant in power forward. It is for sure. And that's why I said Rui is probably going to have to go. Just getting in. What's going on, Patty Waggy? If Mike Malone becomes a Laker assistant or head coach, he is officially the Lakers' daddy. That would be so odd. It's so weird. What's the kind of player you think the Lakers would move Austin for? Multiple-time All-Star, guy that could stay around for a while. Hopefully a two-way guy. Championship level player would be the idea of something that they would want for him. Jeff's drippy with his hat. Appreciate you. Let's see who yoked out Luka in that pick. I don't know. Lakers also hired a new development coach from Duke a few days ago. Mark is already working. Yep. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they're going to bring in the best of the best, man. They really, really will. They really, really will. My problem with the Lakers now is they try to build for the future. Now they need to pick a direction. Can't do both. Well, that's what I think it is. I think they're picking the direction to go on Luka's timeline. And I think that's smart. His name is Justin Robinson and is the son of David Robinson, the Admiral. Yeah, he's going to be like the Lakers. You're going to start seeing a bunch of guys. You're like, oh, the Lakers got him. Oh, okay. What's going on, Cuba? The bandwagon. Laker fans bullied Luka into losing weight. You can't make this up, Jeff. The band made the finals last year by looking the way he did and playing the way he did. Unbelievable. Also, I think due to his injury, he's had multiple calf injuries. He's had multiple problems with that calf and that knee, and it's because of his weight. It is. So he has to be less doughy for sure. He's got to be able to stay more healthy. And if he wants to win the championship, not just get there, he needs to get in prime condition. This I do believe. I don't always often believe in with the crash out portion of Laker Nation. You know this. But I do believe he does need to be in better shape for sure. Alex says, I don't hate Austin, but I don't think Austin and Luka fit together. I don't think Austin and Luka fit together with LeBron. It's not LeBron's fault. I think LeBron and Luka fit better than LeBron, Luka, and Austin, and vice versa. I think when one of those guys are off the court, the other two play better together. I just don't know if Luka and AR are going to get the chance to do that before AR might be gone. Don't forget, Mitch almost got LaMarcus Aldridge. Great meeting. Yeah. Oh my God. Joe says, don't ever disagree with me, Jay. I mean, don't say something wrong and I won't disagree with you. I know the future. Oh man. The Joe Soro experience. I can't, why? Damn it. The Joe Rogan thing is still in my head. I'm sorry, Joseph. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. Dollar up. What's going on, man? The future been now. That's why I don't understand why the front office act like the future is through 2 years from now. I don't think the future is 3 years from now. I just don't think they want to take on anything to handcuff them for sure. Nico propaganda. Yeah, true. What's a player, Jeff, you would move Reeves for that's realistic, strictly in your opinion? I don't know what's realistic because I don't definitely know what their asking price is for him. But, before they got Ayton, like to me, like a Reeves for Walker Kessler type thing, if you're looking for a future big, like a starter, like a starting guy that could be part of your team for 5 to 7 years, whether it's a big before they got Ayton, whether it's a wing, whether it's a defensive style 2-guard, like a Mikal Bridges, like something along the lines of that. I think that's would be what the Lakers will be looking for is move Austin to get someone who can shoot and defend next to Luka. So someone like a Mikal Bridges, someone like a Walker Kessler who can be the rim running, shot blocking, field goal changing defensive presence. Something like that would probably be in the lines of what would work. Brian Green says you can get a lockdown defender at guard for Reeves, not an all-star, but athlete at the 2. Andre Jackson Jr. from the Bucks as an example. Yeah, but I think the Lakers want a guy that's teetering like around all-star level, though, to be honest. Why was Luka never fat until he traded? And Nico said it because he was out for months. He wasn't playing basketball. He wasn't on his feet. So it was he ballooned up a little bit. He did. Just call it the experiment. Experiment. I don't know. It's something my brain is not computing right. I think LeBron goes home for the final of last year. I don't know. We'll see. Forget my name. Forget my name. They're selling the team they have to be conservative. They're selling the team they have to be conservative. What's going on, Ty Church? Who do you think the Lakers should get? They should get a wing. And a point of attack defending guard. That's who they should get. Herb Jones for Reeves. Again, I could see the Lakers entertaining that, but they'd want to pick from the Pels. The Pels are going to want a pick from the Lakers. There's going to be a standoff there. I don't think the Lakers view that as an upgrade. Well, that's why I said don't need Kessler with Ayton on the roster. That's why I said before they got Ayton. Just pronounce it. The experiment sounds the same. It's not the experiment. It's the experiment. Hey, you created something that was going to be like, what is? Come on now. you created something that's going to throw people off. It threw people off. Let's see here. No, we got to pick it up here, man. Okay. We got almost 300 people in the building right now. So shout out to you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, please drop a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can become a member to the channel as well, but at the very least, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It is free, ladies and gentlemen, to do so. We only have 40 likes on the video, and we need more than that. Come on, y'all. Do your boy a favor. Did the Dodgers show, not doing a Lakers show. All I'm asking for is likes. Just drop a like on the video. Let's see. Herb Jones is not that much better than Reeves. Only Reeves for a better player. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to upgrade if you're moving Reeves. And I do like Herb Jones, but the Lakers are going to want to pick there, and I don't think the Pels do that. I just don't think they do it. Would you take a chance on either Bridges, Mikal, or Miles? Yeah, that's what I said. I think someone like Mikal Bridges is a type of guy that I think would be interesting. And that's why I said start looking at some of these teams that kind of underachieved last year, got some money on their books, got a new head coach or a new star, and you might have to move some things around. The only thing I think about the Knicks is a backcourt of Brunson and Reeves could feed more families defensively than Austin and Luka. So I don't know about that, but I'm just saying I would not. I think Mikal Bridges would be a perfect guard next to Luka. I just don't know if the Lakers have what it takes to acquire him, being as I think they gave up 5 picks to get him. And that is a whole lot of money, man. Whole lot of money. Assets that they gave up to get him and to pay him. So, man, that's a lot. Jeff, would there be changes in the assistant coaches? If Guggenheim, maybe they expand them, but I think the Lakers are pretty happy with their assistants right now, but maybe they add to it. Like I said, but player development and trainers, they're one way or another considered assistant coaches. Like they sit towards the back of the bench or down the line. The trainer usually carries the clipboard and monitors the timeouts and stuff like that. But it's just an extension to the coaching staff. So yes, I could see them adding to that. But I think the guys they currently have, I think for the most part, the Lakers are pretty content with. I think they'd be pretty happy and are pretty happy with the way things went last year. Outside of how it ended and kind of, JJ's rookie mistakes of not playing anyone in the second half of a playoff game and stuff like that. But outside of that, I think they'd be happy with it. Lakers will finally have a proper scouting department. Yes, they will. Tron Force. Apologize if I said your name wrong, brother. Appreciate you, man. I think Ayton is 80% better than Hayes and 50% better than Mark Williams. I agree with this. And for what they got him for, just adds more value to it. Even if it completely goes haywire, you got a $35 million player for $8 million. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see how this could be looked upon like as downside. I don't see it. But again, that's just me. Any updates on Beal buyout, and do the Lakers have a chance to get him? So the update is not there yet. I believe everyone believes he's working towards a buyout, and that could come in the next 24 to 48 hours. He would then have to clear waivers and then go from there. I touched on it earlier when I said that, that trade to the Clippers seems very likely a kind of like a prerequisite or a precursor to Beal going to the Clippers. Now, it could be CP3 going to the Clippers. Who knows? But the only way I see Beal coming to the Lakers is if they probably have a trade on the table for Austin Reeves, because Beal's probably not going there to be a bench player or a six man. And you can't have Luka and Beal in the backcourt without wing help. You just can't do it. And they're not putting AR on the bench. They're not benching him in a free agent year. So the only way I could see Beal choosing the Lakers is if the Lakers have a deal in place or are working on a deal for Austin Reeves. That's really the only way I could see it. Assistant coaches in the NBA are like emergency quarterbacks in the NFL, useless. The 2008 Boston Celtics would heavily disagree with you on that. And so would the 2020 Los Angeles Lakers. Is Rondo no longer in the Lakers circle? No, he was working with, I know he was working with the Celtics, and then I think the Bucks. Was it the Bucks? And then I think he latched on with someone else. Why am I not? I don't know. I honestly, off the top of my head, I don't know the answer. I don't know if he latched on with someone in an official capacity. I just know like last off season and into the preseason, like he had latched on to a couple of teams, but I don't believe that he is. He came by the Lakers facility. He was working with guys there too. For some reason, it escapes me right now if he's with someone in an official capacity. Maxey is going to be good this year. I don't know if he stays here. His injuries set him back. There was a time where he would have been a really good fit here. But I'm not convinced that version of him is still here or if he's got that capability. But we'll see. If they keep him, we'll see. We'll get to see if that is or not. But I'm not optimistic there. But I hope I'm wrong. Joe says Kleber is washed like a 10-year-old washcloth. To Joe, everyone's washed. So everyone is washed. I like Bradley Beal, pull up threes on the fast break. I do like him in spots, but I don't like his defense. I don't like his lack of playmaking. I don't, he doesn't like really do a lot of off-ball work, doesn't go off screens. He's not a good defender. Like he's kind of like wait till he gets the ball to go to work. And I don't think that's beneficial for the Lakers right now. That's the only exception. 2008 Celtics, 2020 Lakers, and Phil Jackson had some really, really good assistants as well. Rondo was with the Bucks. Yeah, I knew he was with the Bucks. I just don't know if he still is. If that was just, I don't know if he's in the official capacity of a multiple year thing or not. I don't. For some reason, it's not popping in my mind. I know he was there. I know he did work with the Celtics. I know he worked with the Lakers last all season and the Bucks. And I think he ended up in some type of role with the Bucks. I just don't know if it was a recurring thing or not. This I don't know. Bradley Beal is washed like a 20-year-old. Everyone is washed. Would you trade Reeves straight up for Derek White? Ooh. I would strongly consider that and probably do it. His ability to fit in with star players, his ability to play under pressure, his ability to carry a quarter for a team like Austin. He's a better defender than Austin, longer than Austin. I would strongly consider that and do that. And I need to know what else the deal would be, because the Lakers would have to give up more than just Austin because of money. And if you give up more to match money, if there's value with that more, then is there a pick? Like what's coming back there? But I'm not sure. You know what? Typically, I would say the Celtics wouldn't do it. But part of me thinks that Boston would love to get their hands on Austin Reeves. They would love to. Without saying too much, he'd fit really in well there in the city. So that's something that could potentially happen. That could potentially happen because he is good. And a first, yeah. So depending on what else is in the deal, I believe once Lakers makes trade, Chris Paul will sign with Lakers. I don't know if that's what's needed. I get the Ayton aspect. You got Ayton there. He had his best year of his career with CP3. But I don't know if the Lakers are signing another guy that old. But CP3, I think, is pretty much for the most part been linked to the Clippers and Suns. So that would be a little shocking for me. I would trade Reeves for White for sure. Yeah. With the Lakers and so I just touched on that. If it wasn't for the new CBA, Lakers would have signed Markieff Morris just for the fun of it. You might be right. Chris Paul wants to start. Yeah, no, go with the Lakers. Lakers' philosophy is defense. Who needs it? Right. I think the Flippers get Paul and Beal. I think there's a chance with that. Did you hear LeBron admit to not being able to go right with his mid-range game? That's a huge weakness. Yeah, his mid-range game. That's just weird. That was weird. It just didn't really ever work for him. That is true. It's kind of odd, right? But it is true. Man, been a day. Been a long day. But let me see here. 1 second. The wifey shoots the message. You got to pay attention and respond. Let's see. Got Highly Ford in the building. Highly Ford, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Jeff, I'm concerned that the starting lineup will still be the same, which would be a mistake. At the very least, they need 2 free agent signings and a trade for a starting small forward. I agree with you. And I think that's going to happen. I don't believe the starting lineup will be the same. I at the very least, and I know some people aren't going to like this, if, and this is a big if you still have Rui and you still have Vando, and Vando was healthy, Vando has to start. We need a defender out there to really cover the perimeter. And say what you want to say about Vando, but when he's been healthy and in the starting lineup, the record and their defensive rating and their wins have been higher. But is he going to be healthy? I don't know. I don't know. He's just never healthy. And I'm not convinced he's going to be Laker still. So if Rui is here and Vando is here, which, God, that would not be ideal. That would not be ideal, the redundancy still on this team. But if they are, Rui has to come off the bench at this point. He just has to. But I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. How will JJ play Braun this coming season? Probably similar to how we did the last. Braun's going to be Braun, man. Thoughts on Quentin Grimes? I know JJ likes him. I know JJ has worked out with him. I know JJ likes him, but we'll see. Except Ayton would be the starting center. Yes. Laker fans either forgot or they never knew, but we only average 100 points in the playoffs against Minnesota. To say we don't need offense is silly. Well, I think if Luka is healthy, LeBron is healthy, which I don't know if we'll ever see a healthy LeBron again. If AR's there, but yeah, 100 points, Minnesota's defense just smothered them. So that's what I'm saying. You need other guys that can score. And your defense gets you in transition and also gets stopped. So the defense does matter because the defense does directly impact the offense. So defense definitely does matter in that. I'm still high on Vanderbilt. Or you? So I like Vando when he's used correctly, when he's managed correctly, because if not, he's a hot mess. And I don't like hot mess Vando. I like Vando when he's used as a perimeter defender and not as a big. I like when Vando's used on the right side of the floor at the angles he's supposed to be used in and not turned into a corner shooter or a trailer, right? Him as a corner crasher, him coming out of the dunker spot, him being able to guard perimeter players, get into transition and get his buckets. That's where Vando is at his best. But if you're not going to use him in that form, then he's going to be counterproductive. It's just going to happen. So I'm high on him because I like his skill set of how he can change the game defensively. And the Lakers don't have a lot of guys like that. But outside of that, if you're going to use him how you've continued to use him, and plus his health issue, then it's tough. You know, like there are teams that would love to have a Vando skill set on their team. They could probably use him better. But offensively, he's such a he could be such a liability on offense that if you don't use him correctly defensively where he can shine, then you kind of force the net negative because you're having him guard positions that he shouldn't be guarding, which you're taking away his best skill set, which is wing defending and perimeter defending. And then you putting him in spots on the floor offensively that he's going to fail at. So with that, for those who have never played or coached the game, I get why they see Vando the way they do. But for those who have, you guys know what it is with a guy like Vando. You know, every team has them. Every team coming up in AAU, every college team, every team has a player like Vando. And when they're used correctly, they absolutely impact winning. And when you look at the Lakers' numbers, when he's playing and used correctly and healthy, the Lakers are a different basketball team. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. But if they're not going to use him as intended to his strengths, then he's going to hurt you. He's going to hurt you. And so I guess it depends on how they plan on using him and if the dude can ever be healthy. If the dude can ever be healthy. Like that's probably the bigger question. I still believe in Vando the player because I've seen how he impacts winning. But I'm not sure I believe in Vando's health. Matter of fact, I probably don't believe in his health. I like Vando. I had really high hopes for him. But he's kind of let me down a little bit, you know? And it's not his fault he can't stay healthy. That's not his fault. But at the same time, it is his fault that he hasn't developed anything or a little bit more of an offensive game that can help reverse that net negative when he's used at a position. He hasn't adapted outside of his spot, and he doesn't really have all the tools to do so. But at the same time, I'm just not sure it's going to line up. I know what Vando can do. We've seen it. It's just not as likely that we may see it again. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Let's see. We have Kwame Brown. Kwame was a really good defender too. Helped us in the playoffs. Let's see. Watching Vando miss layups last season. Yeah, very aggravating. Very aggravating, especially when he wasn't able to be out there and defend to kind of bring more balance to what he could bring to the team. So, yeah, like I said, yeah, I get why people think the way they do when they really don't have the vision of what a player like Vando's supposed to be. But if you're not using him correctly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I feel if you mention Austin off the bench, JJ will storm out the room. He kind of shrugged the whole Rui getting benched for DFS thing. He said, I don't know. I don't understand why getting everyone saying that. They're not going to bench Austin. They're just not, especially in a free agent year. They're definitely not going to do that for sure. I like Vanderbilt not wearing a Lakers uniform. Lakers Dodgers for life. What's going on, my brother? What's up, Jeff? I can't stand Reeves behind the back dribble. It gets on my nerves. Yeah, he has some success with it, and then he does some dumb stuff with it. So I get where you're coming from. I get it. I can get it. Vando is literally a top 10 defender in the league. I'd keep him. Yeah, no, he is. He is. It's the fumbling on offense is enough to take away the good he does on defense. And again, if you're not going to use him correctly, don't use him, because he's not really going to adapt to anything else. He's not going to. He can't going to. Okay, this tells me you have never played in the dunker spot, because that's not true. It's not as simple as that, Joseph. Let's see. Hot mess. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you. Good night. Good night, Highly. Appreciate you as always. Thank you. If only Vando can set good picks and then roll very well. Yeah. It's not his skill set. It's not. He's not a roller. He's not a pop out guy. He's not. There's a lot of guys in the league that can't do that either, that are one dimensional, right? He has the chance to be elite on defense, but then he has a chance to miss the whole year. So there's that. Top 10 defender in February and March, and then he turns into pumpkin in the playoffs. I think the whole team turns into a pumpkin in the playoffs. I don't know about putting that on him. I would be shocked if there's no more moves and the Lakers just wave shake. Yeah, I would be shocked if there's no more moves. I mean, he's done that before. He worked on it. The year he got that extension, he put a lot of work in. They liked what they saw. They gave him the extension, and then he got hurt. That year he came out when he was hurt from the get-go. And it just that game in Boston, man, was just a full-fledged display on what the game before against Golden State, that game he had against Dallas in Dallas, like the flashes of what he can do, like it just wasn't enough of consistency in it. But I've talked to enough people who make a living in the sport, and all of them pretty much say, give me Vando. Give me a guy like that. Give me him. Because but it's a big if he's healthy and you know how to use him, then you got someone who can impact winning. You absolutely do. Okay, I don't want to spend a whole 10 minutes talking on Vando, though. Vando needs to be the player that keeps moving on offense. I will say JJ bench DK in favor of Goody, so maybe he does care about defense. Yeah, you can't have Dalton out there with Luka and AR. I mean, he may be Dalton. I'm not convinced Dalton isn't broken, I think that trade may have just done it. I don't know. I haven't really liked what I've seen of him since. I was very high on Dalton. I'm not as high as I once was on him. The talent and the skill set is still there. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to put it together as a Laker. What's a player you think new school guys hate, but old school fans love? Well, I guess LeBron is the most hated and loved walking the earth, right? So that's an easy one. Reeves is not him. How about that? I've never said he is him. He's a good player. He's a good role player. But if Austin Reeves is expected to be your third best player on a team that has deep playoff aspirations, then you're probably in trouble. Young Braveheart said he can't pass to. I'm assuming you're talking about Vando, and yeah, you're right. It's not what he does. If Austin Reeves gains weight like 20 to 30 pounds, could he be a good defender? No, because then he's just going to get slower. He competes, right? He wants to. He just doesn't have the physical attributes or the length or the athletic ability to go out there and do what some of these guys do. Like D'Lo had more attributes than Austin. He just didn't make the effort. Big Snoops. What's going on, man? New subscriber here, and I'm here to stay. Lakers for life, baby. Let's go. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the new subs, man. Like I said, we've been on a roll the last 7 to 10 days. So I appreciate you, man. I'm trying to. We're on 2149 right now, man. We've gotten almost 150 subs, and I think in 7 or 8 days now. So that's a good stretch. That's a good run. So I appreciate you guys. I'm trying to get to 2,200 this week. So let's make that happen. Let's get to 2,200 this week, and then 2,300 the next week, and let's just keep this going, man. I want to get to at least 3K by the start of the season, man. That's the goal. 3K by the start of the season. It's my fault. I was slacking. Was handling business. Wasn't on the internet as much. Try to hit you out with the shorts, which have been helping. But haven't really had a lot of time to sit up there and pull up live after live again. So I appreciate you. Joe says, you kidding me right now? You think I don't know what the dunker spot is? It's not what I said, Joe. That's not what I said. But I guarantee you, you can't break down everything in the dunker spot. I guarantee you. Shake Milton was in the rotation literally 4 times last year and scored double digits 3 of those times. It had a plus 31 game. Laker fans need to do their homework. I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day, right? I mean, I don't think that that's something that's scalable. Like, I don't think that for sure. What do you think about Patrick Williams? I don't really think anything on him, really. Like, he's a guy that had some hype, didn't really reach it, and then he's like, okay, me might. I don't know. There's a lot of like ups and downs with him. Come on, Jeff. Reeves was terrible in the playoffs. You scare me, Jeff. No accountability. What do you want me to say? I said the whole team was terrible in the playoffs. He's part of the team. He was not good in the playoffs. He was terrible against Minnesota. I'm not going to get out here and make a whole show ripping Austin Reeves because I don't do a whole show ripping any player, one player. You're not going to get that from me. Like, he was bad. Luka was bad. Braun was bad. Everyone was bad. They averaged 100 points in the playoffs. Everyone was bad. I don't understand. Like if you want to show all day bashing Austin, there's plenty of shows for that. That's not what I do. You know what I mean? I've said it plenty of time. Austin was not good in the playoffs. He wasn't. Austin is a good player. He's not a bad player. He's not an all-star. He's not a star. He's a role player, and he's a good role player. Anyone that disagrees that Austin is a decent to good role player has an agenda, and that's it. That's it. Luka averaged 20 points in the NBA as a third option, playing out of line. He shouldn't be a third option, and he's still scoring, getting about 20 points a game, cooking some of the league's best defenders. The hate on Austin Reeves is wild. The glazing on Austin Reeves is also wild. I'm not saying Austin sucks, and I'm not saying Austin is a star. Austin is a solid NBA player. And anyone who can't agree to that, I don't really know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. Vando was a version of prime Ron Artest. No. Well, Ron was so much more gifted offensively, man. Lakers Dodgers for Life said, best defense on Vando is no defense. He's not as bad as Kwame, but he's getting there. Yeah, if he can't give you anything offensively, and if he can't be out there to guard the perimeter, then yeah. Vando is like Eric Snow. That's not a bad comparison. Brandon says, Uncle Jeff, Rob's so focused on 2027 free agency. Imagine we got to the point where no superstar picks us. It would make Rob look terrible, winning all this just for free agent class. The funny thing is, no one has heard Rob say that. No one has heard Rob say that. Guys, it's not just like Jaxson Hayes got a no trade clause. This isn't real, yo. This isn't real. If Giannis said, I want to go to the Lakers, and the Bucks said, we'll give you can make it worth what you have, they take him right now. Anyone else, if there's a guy that signed to 4 years, the Lakers would take him if it's a guy they want. The Lakers are not just taking guys past 2 years for nothing. They're not just going to take guys who tie up money past 2 years if they don't think they're part of Luka's long-term future. It's just not going to happen. What's going on, Quality Kev? What's up, Jeff? How do you see the forecast on the West? More of a dogfight to get to a playoff spot, or just the same as last year? Too early to tell. Let's see what the rosters look like. Let's see first. They are not worth the money. Young Braveheart has said, what money? His money now or the money in the future? Every Laker championship has that defensive weapon. Fox, Ariza, Meta, Bradley. If Vando can shoot, he can be that guy. He's never, I'd be shocked. He's never going to be able to shoot like one of those guys, I don't think. Austin is definitely not worth 30 mil at all, at least not for the Lakers. Again, I think you're going to be surprised. I think you're going to be surprised how many players are above that price range. And then I think you guys may revisit it. I think you're looking at $30 million now. But I think when you start to see some guys making 40 to 45 million, I think you're going to see that maybe Austin at 30 isn't going to be what you think it is right now. What's on Dan Inspiration? What's going to happen first, Jeff? Getting 2.2K first or Dalton hitting a 3-pointer? Probably me 2.2K subs. Probably because Dalton. Yeah, Dalton is melting away in front of our eyes here. Hopefully, he bounces back and has a phenomenal summer league in Vegas and gets back to being a prospect that we can be excited about. But he just hasn't looked right for me for a while. The Lakers rotation seems political. It's not a. So okay, I get what you mean. Mikal Bridges is on an expiring contract, but I will say they move 5 picks for him. No way they moving him for Austin Reeves and some filler. I mean, they might, depending on what the market is out there for him. Again, this all comes down to the value of who holds in what. If the Knicks hold Austin Reeves in high value, and you're moving Austin and a pick or a swap or something like that, it all depends. The Knicks, had a bunch of picks at the time. They had to offload some of them. It wasn't your typical 5 picks. They had a bunch of picks from other teams too. So I get it, but it's a little different situation. So while I understand where you're coming from, it all comes down to how much they value what they're getting for him to offset the picks. I can solve Vando's catching issues. Tell bro to stop eating greasy fried chicken and butter biscuits before the games. Vegas Dev said, facts, Jeff. People get pissed at me just for saying Austin is a good player. He is a good player, bro. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Agendas, man. Gabe Vincent scored 14 points in 99 minutes in the T-Wolves series. They would have ripped D'Lo a new one for that. Why not Gabe? Because Gabe's not a starter, but he should still get ripped. Reeves as the number 1 third option in the NBA sounds like an agenda the Lakers buy into. That, yeah, he is not. And I said that at the time. No way he's the best third option in the league. That's crazy. What is worse, Dalton Summer League in 2 games or the Dodgers last 4 games? Dodgers last 4 games, for sure. How the hell is Vandal like Eric Snow? Am I in a Twilight Zone? No, I think it's I think what they're saying is he's not like Eric Snow. There's guards who can switch and guard and do all that. Like Eric Snow and Vando with their ability to shut down the perimeter, and the ability to do it, like they have really strong hand, like the way they can do it. I can see the similarity in that different positions. And Eric Snow was able to take and make shots. But defensively, the way Eric Snow can guard the perimeter and even guard post wings, yeah, there's some similarity fundamentally defensively. Big Snoop says, for being undrafted, he's not bad, Joe. I think Arrow will get better, but if not, then he can go. Yep. Black Mamba says, Vino. See, salary cap is going up 7% next year. Well, it's been going up 10% every year. This year was the first at 7%. They do project it to go up 10% again next year. So we will see. It's been 10, 10, and now 7. With a new TV deal cutting in, I would expect it to hit the 10. 10 is the cap because the cap's smoothing, but I still think there's a chance it gets to the 10 because that's pretty much been what it is. And when that new TV deal hits, it's going to be hard for them not to go the full 10. Paul Pierce said that we are number 7 seed next season. Pure hater. We're number 3 last season without a center. I think we got the 4, but yeah, I mean, I don't really, what Paul Pierce says is weird. Where are the Odom type of players? I feel like we don't see that type of architect as often. Well, having a guy that can put the ball on the floor, can shoot, penetrate, be a left-hander. Those guys, he was ahead of his time. He was ahead of his time. Austin Reeves be tricking y'all. Tani is overdue for a 3-run homer. Yeah, he's overdue for the whole team is overdue for a lot of things. Dalton is building a house right now. All the bricks. Mookie is spent. Freddie is really, yeah. Mookie's my guy, man. But he's not Mookie. He is not Mookie. You know he's not Mookie. That base running blunder. That's how you know he's not Mookie. He's in his head. Could you see Giannis going to the Knicks for Cat? Makes a lot of sense. Maybe, but we'll see what Giannis decides to do. Can we trade Austin, Rui, and a first for Bam? Oh, I don't want that money. I don't want Bam on that deal. Hell to the no. No. So no. That'd be my answer. No. What's that? Hell no. To the nah. But all right, y'all. On that note, I think I'm gonna shut it down. I got a couple things to do before I knock out for the night. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate talking some Lakers with you. Appreciate those who talked Dodgers earlier. If you didn't watch the Dodger video earlier, go back and rewatch it. I'd appreciate it. And I will catch you guys tomorrow as we talk more Dodgers and more Lakers. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Search, you're the best in the building. I appreciate you for your time as always. Thank you guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your Tuesday, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. As always, go Lakers, go Dodgers. Make sure to subscribe on the way out if you've not done so already. Drop a like if you haven't done so already. And if you're watching the replay, let me know what you think in the comment section. Catch y'all tomorrow, y'all. Peace.